the Galaxy Note 8. I got my hands on it. You guys have been harassing me. Lou, where are you here? Where's your Note 8 video? It's a new device. We come to you to hear about the new devices. Well, here it is. Now, at first glance, you're gonna say, wow, that's a big device. And that's because it is. It's one of the biggest devices out there, 6.3-inch screen. And just like the other Galaxy devices, you have this incredible screen to body ratio. There are a lot of things to like about this phone. It's probably the best screen in the business right now. To look at this for multimedia consumption and so on. You sit back, you relax, it's huge. It might even be your main computing device. You add to it the pen, now you're tapping around. I don't know what you're into. Maybe you enjoy a little sketching, for example, taking notes. I've even seen people with this thing get into a spreadsheet, if that floats your boat. For me, I never get too excited about spreadsheets in general, but hey, you can get some business done with the pen. It's very precise. You still got a headphone jack. For everybody looking for everything on their device, this is it. The headphone jack is there, the speaker's there, USB Type-C is on this unit. It's the first Samsung device that I'm aware of with a dual lens setup, a dual camera setup. Samsung has finally entered this party. You now have a portrait mode, okay, which you can toggle before or after the image. All the magic happens in this location right here. And this is also the first device that features optical image stabilization on both lenses. Not just the main lens, but also the zoom lens. Now, during the demonstration, they showed this image stabilization for both video and photo up against the iPhone 7 Plus. And of course, it performed better. Optical image stabilization is something that for anyone who's ever used it, you couldn't live without it after you had it. So having it on both lenses seems like a no-brainer. Now, you've also got a lot of horsepower in here, as you'd expect. The latest from Snapdragon inside 6 gigabytes of RAM. It's water resistant just like the other devices, and if you were wondering about the pen, even when that pen is removed, it remains water resistant. It's got Bluetooth 5.0 and it has expandable storage. These are all things that you would love to have in your dream smartphone. All right, so some other special stuff. Obviously, this device is large. So of course, Samsung has given you the ability to take advantage by launching more than one app at once in what they're calling pairs. You can see here, for example, YouTube and internet. I can access that via the app's edge. Now, if I load that up, I have YouTube up at the top. And then over here, look, I'm just browsing. I'm browsing the web. I'm watching YouTube. Well, I'll type in Unbox Therapy so I can actually play a video here. Okay, cool. Here's a fresh new video. Okay, so there you go. You can imagine this scenario. You're watching a video up top, browsing the web down here, doing a little shopping. Now, of course, there's all kinds of note-taking stuff as well. From in here, you can go ahead and launch Screen Write. You can also send these things called live messages. This will allow you to script out some kind of message here. That doesn't mean anything, but I could send that to someone. The personal touch, a little bit of romance. If you need advice on romance, then you found the right channel. They need some advice on romance.
Go hard.
Oh! So the pen is still a key part of the Note series, and I think a lot of people that want to purchase this thing are going to do so because they think they can utilize this pen and its features. Okay, now what about the camera? I told you about this dual lens system. I know that you are fired up about it. Okay, so I'm going to launch into live focus mode here, and this lets you kind of compose your image with a very specific area of focus. It's meant to emulate a lens, a camera lens like this one. Got one right over here with a big aperture. You see that in the middle there? I select the object that I want to focus on and I snap a photo. All right, and I end up with an image like this. And hopefully Will can pick that up. And what you can see in this image is that the camera here in the foreground is completely sharp, but the edges, on each side of it are really soft, almost dreamy, dare I say. Well, that's the effect that you're trying to recreate by merging this dual camera data. Now, what's cool here is you're not stuck with this image in this format. I can adjust it after the fact, like this. So I can take the background blur out and you can see it comes into focus and sharpens up. I'll go back and show you again. Maximum, very, very soft around the camera itself. And I pull it back, we have sharpness around the entire frame. Now, alternatively, you can use each of these lenses independently. So I could just go ahead, snap one photo here at the wider focal length and then just tap. And now I'm at 2x. And that's, of course, optical because it's two separate units. So to give you a better idea of that, here is the wide angle shot, and here is the 2x zoom. So similar quality because you are switching over to the longer lens, as opposed to a digital zoom that you'd be getting on a single lens system where you just kind of pinch in. And ultimately what you're doing there is degrading the image by using less of the sensor. I can't see anyone complaining about having a dual lens system. Of course, options are always better, though there have been other implementations. For example, there's been LG devices that put a far wider angle lens to go with the standard one. And then of course, more recently in the Essential phone, you had a monochrome sensor to go with the standard one. Point is here, Samsung, they're in the party now. Better late than never. It's the first dual lens Samsung phone. So right about now, you're saying, Lou, I'm hearing you. You're saying a lot of nice things about that device, and it's true that, I am. And that's because it's a nice device. It's got all the things I look for. It's even got wireless charging. But here's the thing. I think there's a better phone for your money than this one. See, the problem with this phone is price. This guy right here is gonna retail for $930. We're hitting a new threshold now for what you're expected to invest into one of these. Now, the real issue with that price point is not just that it's expensive for most people. The problem with that price point is the Galaxy S8 Plus, or even the S8 for that matter. See, here's the thing. This one is $930, as I mentioned before. And the Galaxy S8 Plus, this guy right here, which is so similar in form factor. In fact, the screen size is what? 0.1 inches smaller, the same resolution, and a better screen to body ratio, percentage-wise. Plus, this guy here, it's got the curvature. Okay, you can see that the edges are slightly more curved. Now, these are already big devices. So when you grip onto these things, that's important. You can see when I hold this here, you kind of dig the curved corner into your hand. So by having slightly more curve, it makes it a little easier to get up to that fingerprint location, which, as far as I can tell, no one's a fan of to begin with. Now, on this device here, it's even more difficult to get there. Because of that sharp edge, you kind of feel like you make an adjustment. You almost slide your hand up it to get to where you need to be. So ergonomically, for me, hands down, the S8 Plus is the better choice. Oh, what else? Here's the other problem. The S8 Plus has a bigger battery than the Note series. Now fine, maybe with the Note series they wanted to back off a little bit because of the battery issues on the last one. Plus, they had to slide the pen in there. Plus, it's an incredible feat of engineering to get this dual lens system completely recessed into the unit. But that doesn't change the fact that you're dealing with a 3,300 milliamp hour battery on the more expensive device, on the Note device, where you've got 3,500 milliamp hours in the S8 Plus. Now the S8 Plus originally retailed for $825. So right now you might be thinking, I don't get it, Lou. $930, it's not that expensive. It's $100 more than the S8 Plus, but you get the pen, you get the dual lens setup, and so on. But here's the thing, that's not what you're gonna pay for an S8 Plus today. In fact, that price has plummeted. Right now on Amazon, you can pick up this device, which is 98% this device. You can pick this up for $675. So we're talking about almost $300 more for the Note versus the S8 Plus. What are you gonna do? You're gonna take a couple portrait shots? What are you gonna do? You're gonna get your puppy dog out, blur the background? Is that $300 to you? I don't know. You could buy a lot of pizza for $300. What are you gonna do? You're on the bus, you're drawing pictures? Is that worth $300 to you? I don't know. All right, I'm sure for the right person, you can make the justification, but I'm here to break it down for the average person. Hey, Lou, is that gonna be worth the extra money to me? And here's the thing about those features. They sound great, but they're kind of aspirational. It's like, oh, I might get around to using that. Oh, the S Pen, I like to know that I've got it there. One day, I'm gonna be an artist. One day, I'm gonna take some notes. Take it from a guy who's used 6,000 phones over the last 5 days. Put the disclaimer, slight exaggeration right there. I've used a lot of phones. Every time I get a Note series, I just can't get in the habit of pulling this thing out on a frequent basis. You might be different, that's me. Same thing goes for the portrait mode. Maybe you use it a little bit, here, there, who knows? But when it comes to battery, you use it every day. Even a little bit of extra battery is something you can utilize right now. I mean, tomorrow, you got 5 extra minutes. It's that phone call you need to take. It's that text that you cannot miss. This will affect your life immediately, and as of right now, the S8 Plus outperforms the $930 new device at $675. Now, if you want to get real crazy, I'm going to pull in another device over here. The device that I've actually been using. This guy right here. The standard Galaxy S8. Knock another 100 off, and you're on this guy. And for all intents and purposes, it's the same phone. I mean, it's a smaller display. Okay, fine, I get that. But it's still super high res. It's still got the same horsepower. And in some cases, it's a little bit more usable. Certainly for one-handed use. And that's $100 less. I'm telling you, if people come up to me, which they do, on the street, Lou, what's in your pocket? What should I get? $575 on Amazon. Think about that increase in price up to this guy, up to the Note. That's huge. $575 to $930? I mean, just think of all the other gadgets you could get with that extra cash. You get yourself a nice set of headphones. You could probably buy a PlayStation or an Xbox or something. What are those portrait photos worth to you and the potential for a little bit of zoom? And what is that pen worth to you? If you want a big screen, go for this guy right here, the S8 Plus. You don't need the pen. If you're an artist, I apologize. I'm not speaking to you directly. If you're one of those guys with the pen inside the spreadsheet, I'm not speaking to you either. I'm speaking to everybody else. You probably won't use it as much as you think you will. Now, I understand what Samsung's doing here with the Note 8. I mean, everybody's talking about this next generation Apple device. It's going to be expensive. The rumors are sitting around $1,000. They're putting themselves into that marketplace. You can't blame them. Plus, the original retail cost, the cost that's still on Samsung.com for the S8 Plus is $825. So maybe this has a little bit more to do with just buying a device the minute it comes out on pre-order versus getting the S version phone, which comes out before the Note. That's the value point. You just get more for your money. If you got unlimited cash, fine, pick up the Note, whatever, maybe you use those features. But I really think the responsible recommendation coming from me right now is the S8 Plus or the S8. If you want to know more about either of those phones, you can go watch the videos that I made about them. What can I say? I gotta be honest with you guys. All right, so I'm gonna put links to these devices down in the description of this video. Make the right choice. A lot of times we make these videos and we don't even really tell you what we're thinking. I wanted to change that with this one. I wanted to tell you which is the best one to get, in my opinion, for most people. So there you have it. Don't buy the new Note. Get yourself an S8 Plus. You'll be happier. You spend your cash on something better. Or you just save it. I don't know. Get a college education or something. Also, I know you're wondering, why do they look so pretty? These are courtesy of D brand. If you don't know them, I'm kind of amazed at this point. But these guys will let you personalize your device regardless of which one you choose. They'll even sell you skin for the Note 8, even though I just told you not to buy it. Ultimately, it's up to you. It's your money at the end of the day. But definitely put a skin on it. I mean, gives you a little more grip, a little bit of protection. You can still wireless charge through it. You don't have the bulk of a case. You know the game. Check them out as well. It's all down in the description. Thanks for watching.